start of the track. Back and forth, and now a very low jump on the side of the ramp there. Want to land as early as you can. All the players did it really well here in the first lap. And I'm already, you know, thinking about the plot lines here. We got Pack 4 and 11 before today, near the bottom of the scoreboard, one place he never really finds himself. And he needs to try to bounce back. Spam as well, down near the bottom of the 16. And then you have Bren, who has been the best performing player so far, winning all but 2 of his matches, of his first 15 matches. He's 13 wins. And then Scrappy, who's sort of midfield so far, a little bit on, a little bit off. It's a tough battle here in the first race. We're coming up to the ending. The jump into the clock tower, gotta land on the bridge, and all 4 players are within a 1/10 of a second. Bren with a good landing, but Scrappy with a lot of speed, wide line though. And it will be Bren securing that one with a crazy fast time, 1:05.61. That is 3/10 away from Tween's world record. So, really, really fast. To kick us off, Spam going a bit too low there. Scrappy, actually, and Spam, both jumping too low. And now it is Bren and Pack with a 1 second gap down to them. And here, first places are the only thing that matters. You want to get first place, get 3 of them on a map, and you win. 2 players can win a match, and the other 2 players lose. So Pack here doing really well in this round. Fast on the splits, 25 ahead. Bren having to drift the landing means he's going to only extend further and further. But the biggest hurdle is yet to come, where you have to jump onto the bridge in the clock tower. You don't really see it. That looks like a perfectly aimed jump though from Pack. Just got to get across the bridge, and he's going to match a very fast winning time with a fast time of his own, 1:05.63. Only 200s behind what Bren won with last time. So he's showing up today, Pack. Onto the ice again. Different setups for the wiggle. But this jump is crucial. You have to jump low here, but not too low. All players survive it, and that is a joy to see, because that means we will have a very close race now between all 4. It's going to be a hard-fought point when no one's out of the running yet. Spam and Pack with an inside approach there. Maybe something they've been working on. Looks like it gained a considerable amount as Bren has crashed out, 2.6 seconds behind. Scrappy, though, still in the mix, but not for long. He clips it. And it's a battle between 2 old rivals, 2012 World Champion Spam, 2016 World Champion Pack. But Spam makes a mistake. Pack almost jumping onto the barrier. Wide setup here before the end. But this is all in his hands. No, he hits the wall. Spam's going to come right back onto the jump. Will he have the aim to land it, though? This could be awkward. Hits the wall, but still gets around the corner. And that is a scramble. I thought we were going to have a clean race, but 1:07.72 the winning time. But Spam able to pick up the point. And a point is a point. In these matches, you play a maximum of 10 rounds. And it just goes to show how, like, in one round you can win with a 1:06.6, and the other it's 1:07.7. If you drive consistently fast here, you're bound to pick up some points. But this is a difficult map to drive at that level. But really like this wide setup that Spam and Pack are doing here. It does pay off if they survive it, but Spam, back wheel on the wall. That's going to cost some time. Scrappy here. Haven't seen much of him on this map yet, apart from that very close first round. Here he's chasing Pack down the dirt. Good landing. And a quick nose slide to build the speed. Will bring him closer and closer. It's only 500s. This is a close race. Down the hill, set up for the drift, and now the jump. Cool, have the best landing. Scrappy looks to be able to build a lot of speed out of this. Pack's gonna slow down on the landing, and it will. Be Scrappy to take it just barely ahead of Bren. They all have 1 point. 1-1-1-1. This makes it very interesting now. Everybody's just 2 points away from securing a win. Spam there, missing the ice wiggle by going for it too early, but recovers with a great low jump to not lose further time. Let's follow from his perspective here because he might be able to gain time back with this inside approach. Look how wide Scrappy ends up there. Out of that turn, you can see here now, he has gotten a little bit closer to the others. Pack still driving very fast up front. Through the reactor booster drift here, you've got to build a lot of speed. Into the loop. Spam's not really gotten any closer. But it's a very close battle here between Scrappy and Brennan. Scrappy's gotten so much speed, coming in like a rocket. Almost into first place. Pack defends it though. He's not going to give it up easy down the hill. He's ahead before the jump, but here the setup. Scrappy is going to miss it. That is too much to the left. He will fall off, but Pack is able to defend first place against Bren by just 8 mere hundredths. And he's the first player to reach finalists here. Only a round win away. Bren, beautiful wiggle. Does he get the low jump? Oh my god, Bren has to start the century here. Pixel perfect on both tricks. Almost getting a 10th there just in the first 15 seconds. Here we usually see Pack ahead, but this is the best start Bren's gotten, and he's great in the middle section of the map. So this is going to be tough for Spam to follow. All eyes on Bren now. Can he equalize and put himself in the finalists too? He is the most winning player thus far this season. And you can see here just the gap he's been able to build up against the others. Pack crashed out. Bren now with a 0.4 second lead. And I think that early advantage he got from the start is going to carry all the way into the end. It's the fastest splits we've had all match long. Just needs the last jump. And it is there. He is not going to miss the opportunity to set a 1:05.57. New best time. And well-deserved finalist position now. Going up against Pack. It's only 27 hundredths behind the world record. And you can see here now, this is a lot more airtime, and now it's Pack that runs away with a great start. Building up a solid gap here. Gaining 0.2 is not easy, especially not against M&M Pack, who looks very trained coming into this week. Has been near the bottom of the scoreboard, knows he needs to pick up the practice and get a champion medal in order to get to playoffs. You can see him going for it now. Matches Bren's fast pace from the previous round. They are driving just within a couple of tenths of world record consistently here. Spam able to follow quite close. More speed into the downhill. This could become a very difficult battle on the last jump as we see Pack having to release. Spam jumping on the inside line, but Bren even better than that, and he takes it away to become the first player to qualify out of this match. 105.7 there. Spam having an awkward angle to work with, was really close. So it is Bren winning in his true style. Another missed jump. That was Spam this time. Scrappy now, if he wants to go into winner bracket, has to overtake Pack somewhere. The wide line here, maybe losing him a little bit of time. But he gets the outside dirt line as he needs to. Oh, disastrous wall hit. Pack's going to realize it on the next checkpoint. But it's not over yet. He needs to land the jump. And even with your opponent chasing you, that is just as difficult when they're not. And Pack also tends to play with his interface off. He doesn't actually know the splits here. Tends to only focus on his own race. So he might fancy risking this jump even though he's far ahead and he's gonna hit the wall. Is he gonna save it though? We can hear Scrappy's engine, but will it be enough? Oh my god, Scrappy actually takes it away. Oh, that is disaster. He was all but poised to win, but 2 crashes in a row. And Scrappy's able to hang on and go into finalists. Oh, don't let this be the heartbreak start for Pack. If he's gonna lose, don't let him lose in this way. Surely kicking himself over that one, but it's not over now. He can still win and qualify, and Scrappy, his fastest competitor, is far behind. Spam hits the wall here. And now Pack again, the second time he's given a big advantage like this is a massive lead. It is 0.8 of a second here. Oh, it's almost all but over. His opponents have both crashed. He just needs to land the jump. And I am praying here for no heartbreaks to kick us off. It better land on the bridge. That looks good for Pack here. Safe and sound through the last corner, and he does qualify together with Bren into the winner's bracket, where it's back to the drawing board here for Spam and Scrappy. See here if the matches have updated. Looks like we need a quick refresh of the plugin to see the other matches. There are 4 matches that are played simultaneously. We can see that Brad and Pack won here. Mime and Kappa have won. Triple final situation in both matches. Okay, we're going in to take a look. We might be a bit late though. There's triple finalists in both matches. Looks like this one is still hot. Carl Jr. has won. Triple finals between Binks, RL, and Granati. Binks in the lead here. And the splits are really fast. They're matching the pace from the other server. Binks here on his trusted laptop keyboard looking for the win. RL is so close and will try to contest him here on the last jump. Through the clock tower. He has a good landing. Does Binks have it though? Binks might be too far. Binks falling off. And that will be RL winning. Binks on the final hurdle. He stumbles. And that nets him the win. And it looks like this one is not over yet, but it's about to be. Probably only a couple of seconds, and there we have it. We have our final results after the first 4 matches are played. Carl Jr. and RL, Mudda and Uffy, Mime and Kappa, and Brennan Pack go into the winner's bracket. And Granati, Binks, Papu Gwen, Otak and Masa, and Scrappy and Spam go into the loser's bracket. So now we get to see how the matches have shuffled. Carl Jr. versus Brandon versus Uffy and Kappa on speed up. And Mudda, Mime, RL, and Pack. Based on the track we're about to see, I think Group 2 here is going to be a really good match. So I think we're going to head to Group 2 for speed up. Take a look. The map we are going into is a heavy ice plastic grass track. Mime is a master of these styles. And you'll get to see it here. This is a run driven by Kappa. Starts out with some long, smooth turns here where you got a speed slide, especially on the grass. And then a long drift before the bobsleigh. Want to build up a lot of speed here because it's bobsleigh with freewheeling, so this snowballs very quickly if you have good speed going in here. Wide turn before the dirt, and then on this drop down, you can go either really wide or really narrow. Kappa is one of the players that drives wide, carries a lot of speed, goes high on the road here, again carries a lot of speed because there's another engine off block. Jump through the checkpoint, and the ending of the map is the most intense part. Here, you go onto an ice slide. In this ice slide, you need to go high up on the wall to carry a lot of speed. flick around this corner, and then one drift tap, followed by the ending, which is just full speed, right, left, and it's barely possible to maintain all your speed there without slowing down. And if you do, you reap the rewards of going monstrously fast. You are a speed demon if you survive that part. We've seen so many players crash, slide out, release, hesitate. You need to commit, and you need to go at full speed in order to win. So Mara here, for example, one of the best ice players. I think that section is a part where he will really benefit. Pack is just in general good on anything drifts. Mime's kind of known as the master of slidey surfaces. Whenever there's a cup of the day and there's a slidey map, whether it be plastic, grass, or dirt, he delivers, he performs. And you can expect nothing else here on speed up. Quick look at the leaderboard. Right now, as it stands, Pack in this match is the player with the best personal best. You can see the world record top left is a 105.803. Pack has a 105.868. Among the other players in this field, RL has a 106.064. Mud has a 106.070. And I do not think Mime's personal best here is public. I cannot see it on the leaderboard. So, that, you know, we'll see when the match starts. But yeah, this ending is terrifying. It is so hard to survive it. And always with new maps, when they are released, people tend to practice in private. But then after the map's released, after all the lines are known in matches, people kind of stop trying to hide their runs. So I think Pack's personal best, for example, is his actual run. But players might have faster times than Masa's record offline. We don't know. Mara here coming up towards the ending, hits the wall. One thing about warm-ups is you really don't want to get any bad omens before the match starts. You don't want to like crash a wall 4 times and give yourself that doubt that you can do it like you practiced. In warm-ups, if you drive them, you have to execute everything like you practice for confidence. And there are players like Carl Jr. who tend to not want to drive warm-ups, to not like, you know, put pressure on themselves. It's pretty standard. But yeah, we only have 56 minutes remaining until the match starts, so do go grab yourself a cup of coffee, perhaps something to drink. We're just about to get started with match number 2 here. Counting down the seconds. Of course, that is a joke. We will soon start here, just waiting on something. Not really sure what, but we get to see who has the best preparation. Actually, we have already gotten to see it because we're about to start here. 5 seconds remain. And then a quick 10-second warm-up, and then we begin with match 2. See Mara trolling the warm-up. Getting ready, shaking loose. Here we go. All these players won their first match. Now, they play against each other to see who will go into the 2-0 winner bracket. And for Pack, this is more important than ever. All his opponents here have gotten a champion medal before in the season, so they are looking very poised to go into playoffs. Pack, however, is near the bottom of the scoreboard. And he really needs to perform today to climb back up. Doesn't have a lot of chances left to do so, but you can see right here, already out of the start, we are witnessing a very trained Pack. Up into first by a 10th. Beautiful racing lines. And makes it difficult for players like Mime to follow. This is a fantastic run so far for Pack. 0.2 ahead of the others. Before the ice section, this is where Mutta and Mime might be able to get a little bit back. Ice is not Pack's strongest style. And they might be able to get a little bit more speed, but going up into the end, it is Pack ahead into the identity. Left, right, left. He's going to hold the speed. Mutta is very fast. Will he overtake before the finish line? That is a sick snipe by Mutta to secure the first point and a 2-wheel to close it out. Pack had to release the acceleration a little bit. And Mutta, who does not hesitate, gains it all back. First point to him. Oh, a low speed line here from Mutta. Very narrow, but it seems to be working out. Pack into the wall. Clips that corner, and that's another opportunity wasted here. Now you can see Mime with the wide approach. Perfectly hitting the apex around the support there for the road. He's able to go up into first by 0.2 of a second. And Mime is one of the strongest ice players. So here he can look to extend against the others. But it looks like Aurel gets great exit speed out of that one. Little bit slower than his competitors, though. Mime having to release. Mutta could go for another snipe back to back here. No, he has to release. And it will be Mime taking the win. 106.4. So they're driving faster now, only within 0.6. Mime going from winning a round to instantly clipping out on the first jump. It's really something we've seen throughout the season. This Mime is one of the fastest players, but also lacking a bit of that restraint some of the other players are able to show here with more experience. Players like Carl Jr., players like Aurel here are very consistent, and they rarely ever crash out. So it's a big wasted opportunity here, of course, as I talk about Aurel into the wall, but the more consistent you can be, the more rounds you can play up until the ending, the higher your likelihood is of winning. Giving yourself the best chances possible. Mutta coming back with a lot of speed, but a no slide. And Pack here, as long as he doesn't full crash, it should be his round to win. Able to secure that one. 106.4 for him as well. Now, new chance for Mime. Will we see a big crash or a huge fast run here? It's either or. There's no in between for Mime. He will never drive a slow save time in these matches. Up into first. Ahead of Pack. A quick drift tap before the dirt. Love that optimization, but pushes it too much there. Goes into the wall. Pack up into first. Both his opponents enter the field of view, with Mutta having the best speed out of all of them. Into the dirt. Good exit speed there. Mutta's on a great pace here. If he's able to keep the speed out of the ice slide, it looks like that's a good line. Has the gear. Pack able to keep up fairly close. But this is going to come down to the speed apart. Pack committing, but missing the turn. And Mutta will not win. Where did Mime come from? Insane speed to take it all back. And he wins with a crash. Looked like Mutta had to hit the panic brakes there. And lost easily about 100 speed. Because that was one of the quickest overtakes I've seen. Oh, checkpoint hit for Aurel. He's going to have to reel himself back in at the cost of half a second of time loss. Mutta grinding the rail. We are not playing Tony Hawk out here, and that's going to cost him down into last place. Pack and Mime, the only two players that have gotten through the start without any big mishaps. But really only Pack here with a clean run so far. 41-72 on the split. Really pushing this one now to keep Mime at bay, to not let him get this first finalist attempt in. Mime's just annoyingly close here. It only takes a small mistake on the speed up part. Mime committing everything he has. Is it gonna be enough? It will be enough as Pack, the final pole, will be the one that sends him flying off track. Mime, the first winner of this winner bracket match. Pack really showing healthy signs here of pace though. His personal best of 1:05.86 is a testament to that. But many wasted opportunities now that he might have needed to capitalize on. It's still not over, but he is running out of time here. Mutta with 1 point away from finalist. And Aurel as well, just 3 points away himself. Pack once again in the lead, but Aurel here will challenge with more speed onto the platform. Pace is once again fast here in this round. Wide setup for Pack. Tries to carry the speed. Aurel going a little bit too high, you'd imagine. And it is Pack winning out that duel. But now on the speed up part, does he have the courage to just hold the turns and carry the speed, or will it be Aurel to snipe him on the finish line for hundredths of a second? And the fastest round yet, but Pack takes it and puts himself into finalist. Showing up here, Pack, but it's not over yet. Aurel was able to follow. Mutta is fast on this map as well when he gets to the start. This time Aurel leaving a little bit to be decided out of the start. It's 0.2. Mutta really keeping up here. Inside approach by both players. Mutta keeping more speed on the grass, but Pack, if he gets this turn right, will have a lot more speed on the freewheeling. This is going to be Pack extending up into first now, onto the dirt. Gaining about a 10th there. And Aurel also doing it well to catch up to Mutta. This is so close between all three players. Pack in front though, leading the charge, trying to close out his finalist attempt. The others are 0.3 of a second away. And Pack, this is all but in his own hands right now. Can he hold the ending at full speed? Yes, it takes a no! Aurel wins it. But you should know that the time Aurel just set was 106.3. And Pack was 0.3 ahead. Pack was almost driving world record pace there. And it's another wasted opportunity for Pack. Could have had 2 more points now if he closed those out. So he has been driving really well. If he doesn't win the last round here, then it's all in vain. That's the pressure of the finalist status. Once you're in it, you know all that remains is one win. But it's not that easy to get it. Aurel here trying to carry speed. Does he survive it? Yes, he will. Able to follow. And they're really like, you can't even tell there's 2 cars on the track right now with how similar the lines they're driving are. Pack going for a bit more of an inside line. This is going to be Aurel with more speed here. Oh, it's so close. Aurel pushing, but he hits the wall. Pack with another chance at closing out his second finalist attempt, and this one he will take straight to the bank, straight into the champion match, and win 2-0 for now, together with Mime. And now Rel and Mutta here go into the gold match. Took a while, but he finally secures it. And it looks like a good start to the day for Pack. Double finalist situation in the first match. Carl Jr. already won in Carl Jr. style. Let's take a look. Oh, is it? Oh, it's triple finalist between Kappa, Bren, and Offie. Very interesting. Whoever wins this match, round wins the match. Together with Carl now. Let's see then. Different lines for the players in this match, but it is Offie getting off to the best start. Carl length ahead of Kappa. Bren with a good setup into the dirt. Can he carry the speed out? No, loses it a little bit here. But a very inside line. Look how different the trajectory. This is the Kappa line going very wide with the speed. And that is such a beautiful exit there. Kappa with a 0.2 advantage now. And actually driving on pace for a 105 if he gets a good ending. Offie trying his best to follow. Great ice slide. Inside approach. He's going to commit. And he will be level with Kappa before the end. Good speed here. Can Offie try to snipe it in the ending? Goes all in for the speed apart. And Offie here with a beautiful end will be able to secure it. But all three players were within 700ths. And they all drove 0.1. That is crazy. That is such a good final round. And you can't really fault anyone here. They all played extremely well. But Offie and Carl advance here. We have triple finalists in match 3. Binks already advancing. Like the 4th place time there was enough to win in the other match. That's how crazy that round was. Triple finalists here. Papu, Masa, and Scrappy. Let's see. Gets the best ending. Masa pushing on the inside turn. Scrappy and Papu just waiting for a mistake. If Masa doesn't release, he has it. But he did release. And Papu with the full speed line. Able to snipe it away here. And it's another amazing winning time. 1:06.11. 2 amazing rounds back to back there. Banks and Papu advance. Masa and Scrappy losing another match here to go into bronze. Unfortunate start to the step for them. Take a look here at the plugin to see how the next match is shuffled. We have a banger of a top match. Carl Jr., Offie, Mime, and Pack. The second match looks amazing as well. Kappa, Bren, Rel, and Mutta in gold. Binks, Papu, Grenadier, and Otak in silver. And Masa, Scrappy, Spam, and Gwen in the bronze match. All really, really good matches. If you don't know how the format works, I'll pull up the graphic that quickly shows it. So you can follow along here. So, the players have now played their first 2 matches. So, for example, Carl Jr., Offie. They're both in the 2-0 match. They're in the Champion 1 match, right? Then you have players in 1-1, 1-1, and players in 0-2. What happens now is that if you win your matches, you remain in Champion, or you advance up to Champion. If you lose, then you go down. So let's take an example. You start in Silver 1 here, and you win. You follow the green arrow, you go into Gold. Follow the green arrow, you go into Champion 3. And at the 3rd match at the bottom here, is where you can get your medals. So, let's say you started in Champion 1. You lost. You went into Gold 2. But then you won, and you went into Champion 3. Whichever match you end up at the 3rd step here is where you can win your medals. And if you want to do really well this season, you have to win Champion medals. You have to end up in Champion and win the top medal. Because this works like the Olympic Games format. What that means is that if you take a look at the current overall standings of Trackmania Grand League, you will see that... Let me see if I can find it. I'm scrolling dramatically here through to see if I can find it. I don't know if I have it. Do I have the standings? I don't think I have the standing asset. 1 second. I'll save it. Yeah, wait. Ranking. We found it. Here. We'll go to Wikipedia. This will ought to do. So, look at this. This is the overall standings currently. Bren is the leader of the league with 1 champion, 1 gold, 1 silver, and a 12-9 win ratio. 12-3 win ratio. Aurel's also gotten a champion, gold, and a silver. Mime and Mutta, both champion, gold, silver. But the medals really matter, because let's say Grunati. He has 3 gold medals, been playing outstandingly. But Cup has 1 champion, and he wins, because he's ahead with 1 champion. So you gotta win the champion medals. That's the takeaway. And we're going into now the up and down format, where you eventually fight for medals. So let's join server 1 and follow the champion match. That is the plan. That is the plan, chat. We're on the server. We are on Tiny Gap. A very difficult map, in that it has a precise jump in the ending. Don't know if anyone's going for it. Pack is going for it here. This is the main obstacle on the track, where you have to get 216 speed. Yeah, 214. That's going to be a very precise jump to land into the gap. 214 works in some cases, but it is very difficult. If you're a little bit too slow, you will not make it. If you're too fast, you can release and make it, but it will be slower. That's how this map works. And last week we saw a new line on this map, driven by Grunati in the start, which gains a little bit of time. But I have not seen anyone in this match use it. Gains maybe a 10th. Will anyone use it here in the downhill? Oh, Offie actually going for the no slide. Okay. We have 1 player somewhat doing it. However, he missed it a little bit and fell into last place here. But it's a very close battle. This is anything but over. On to the donut drop downs. Mime in charge of this race. Important to carry a lot of speed onto the ice here, and Offie gaining a little bit on Carl, but losing to Mime up first. Great low jump though to gain a little bit of time back, and suddenly he's almost up into first. It's still Mime holding on to that spot, but the other 3 players are right behind to follow. Offie with a wide setup for the speed, and now onto the jump here. Looking at the speedometer, 215 for Offie. This could be a lot of speed on the landing. The Pack, oh no! He missed it. Pack is the one to get it the best with a 1:05.81 winning time. That's why you want to aim a little bit higher. 215, not enough to land it there. And Pack able to win that with a lot of speed. Great winning time too. Only half a second from Wostyle's world record here. Offie again going for that no slide, but hitting the wall, so not really able to make use of the strategy. And the time save is marginal, so after 2 botched attempts, curious if he will try the 3rd round. This is also the first time we see Carl Jr. today, who is on many people's tier lists the player that will win the season. He is the greatest of all time in the game with 4 world champion titles to his name. But so far this season, 3 gold medals and no champion medal yet. That could change tonight though if he keeps playing the way he's been playing in the champion division. Last jump here, 214. That is not gonna be as good as Mime's jump. Mime jump's too short. Never mind, Carl takes it. Looked like mine would carry more speed, but that is futile if you don't land on the ramp. So Carl does get a point in very much Carl Jr. fashion. Really just punishing his opponents. Whenever they make a mistake, he will be the one that does not crash. In any corner, any jump. Just consistently playing through the track at a fast pace. It's very hard to go up against. Pack here, running away with a huge lead and a fast split. But the others behind him will not fail. He cannot afford to fail either. If he wants to hold on to the point to advantage, he goes for a low line, but that will be easily punished by Carl. Up into first now. Jumping onto the dirt. Barely gets there in time. Drift around the corner. He's 0.3 ahead of everyone, Carl. Jump. Just needs to land. 217. Can do one release tap and land safely on the ramp to secure the round win here. It's another one for Carl. 105.71. That is a dominant victory. If you're ever over the 216 threshold, you can always release mid-air to land it. But if you're under, if you're at 213, you're in trouble because you can never gain more speed mid-air. So that is like the trade-off. And you might wonder, why don't all the players just release mid-air then if it's gonna work every time? It's slower. The fastest approach there is to release everything before the jump and then full speed mid-air. So they're all aiming for 216 at the ramp, which is a crazy timing to try to hit. Offie in the lead temporarily. Carl reclaiming it with a lot more speed. Low quarter pipe jump here to remain in first. And the drift, the hill, oh, it's beautifully executed. Is anyone able to follow? Offie is the closest, but he's not that close. 0.2 behind. Needs a fantastic last jump to win this one. 213, this is problems, this is trouble. Oh, hits the sign. And it will be Carl. Another one, 105.78. A hat trick. 3 wins back to back to safely stay in the champion bracket. And it's very funny for new players who have entered the Trackmania esport scene recently and seen like, last season Carl wasn't doing that well. I mean, he was in one of the relegation matches. But that was a lot due to his motivation about the format they played in. Now with the new format, he's feeling motivated, he's practicing, and it's showing. Oh, mime clipping. It's a 1 versus 1. Offie versus Pack. Pack the one with a point so far. Great checkpoint on the split. 31.8 here. But Offie fighting back with a low quarter pipe jump, gaining 300s there. In the uphill, avoiding the jump. Big comeback here for Offie to put himself equal to Pack. And now he loves this left side approach for this part. To have more time to set up for the jump. 215, that could work. It's gonna be close. Offie will land it, and with that, he will secure the win here. First point for him. Now, a bit of pressure on Mime. This was the map that last week he won his first champion medal on. And here he has not gotten a point in the first 5 rounds. It's starting to get into that range where he really has to step up now. He's running out of time. But Pack is pushing everything here in the start to gain a 10th over him, and that's going to be more after the jump. Mine goes high. It's 0.2 now. Ooh, jumping out as well. Pack and Offie have found a great rhythm. Now Offie with this left side approach here will overtake first place. But anything but over. They're almost equal before the jump. 221 for Offie. Late release. Pack's going to have more speed here into the landing. You can see it very clearly there. Why you release early instead of late. And Pack will take the win, putting himself at finalist now. Is he going for the no slide? He is still doing it. And you can see it gains a little bit on the start, just canceling the car slide, but also makes him jump higher and thus fall behind after it all is said and done. But it is the line he's practiced. He is comfortable with it. But here, oh, missing the approach a little bit. Pack and Mime relentless up front. Not holding back whatsoever. And a small mistake like that will be punished. 0.4. Mime with a beautiful downhill, low air time. This is a fast run from Mime. Can he get the ending jump though to put himself on the scoreboard and deny Pack the win here? He has to get this jump right. 217 diagonal landing. He might hit the sign. Pack with more speed will secure it. And that is the end of this match. Pack and Carl Jr. stay in the champion match, whereas Offie and Mime get demoted into gold. Let's take a look at the gold match. Mutta, Kappa, Brennan, Aurel are fighting for it. Mutta already advancing into champion. Gold match is well and truly on. Kappa has gotten into finalists. He too got a champion medal on this very track last weekend. Bren crashing out. Big opportunity for Kappa to win here again. Just needs to fend off Aurel. And I remember Kappa on these last jumps was very consistent. Did not miss a single one when he had the chance. Aurel here has to hope for a miracle to take this one away from Kappa. Last jump, 212 for Aurel. This is going to go very short. And Kappa, he does not miss yet again. Another win here. Kappa and Mutta are the winners of gold, and they go into champion. And Group 3 has concluded, so that is all the matches. That means we have the final standings of round 3. Carl Jr., Pack, Mutta, and Kappa are going to play in champion. Offie, Mime, and Binks and Otak are going to play in gold. Bren, Aurel, and Scrappy and Spam in silver. And Gwen, Masa, Grenadi, Papu in bronze. Okay. That champion match is going to be intense. Carl Jr., Pack, Mutta, and Kappa. This is almost a repeat of the World Championship final last summer. It's only missing Offie. It was Carl Jr., Pack, Kappa, and Offie. So that's going to be a nail biter. We're going on to Bowl. It's one of the 2 new tracks. And this one, we can talk about it in the warm-up here while the players get on the server. It is a really interesting map for a lot of reasons. I briefly showed it earlier, but I'll show it again. Here, and have a look at how it is played by Wosal. So, starts out with an ice slide. You saw some players go way too narrow here. You have to go for a pretty wide exit and then straighten the car on the platform the exact same way as your momentum so you don't slide out. Wide dirt turn into this bank turn so that you maintain all the speed. Now jump and land on a slide around the corner up to the checkpoint. And you have this cool downhill slide. I really like how this one looks. Looks so dangerous, scary when you approach it. But it kind of all solves out. Onto the dirt, wide line. And then carry the speed onto the set of jumps coming up. Now you have a long slide grass. And then you have the ending coming up. There's 3 effect blocks that take place at the end here. After this looping. The first one, yellow here, is no brakes. So when you cross this block, you can't brake. When you cross blue, your car speed is locked. It is capped, rather. So you can never exceed 254. But since you can't brake anymore, you're locked at this speed. So what you need to know is like the speed you have when you cross this block, that's what you're going to have for the entire rest of the map. So the equation comes down to how much speed can you enter with while still surviving the turns. In this example, Wosal has 254. And in order to survive it, he has to go wide up on the walls here. Now he gets to pay off for the speed he carried. Wide up, barely survive for the corner, and then he gets to pay off for the speed. We've seen players go for 260. We've seen players go for 265. But the more speed you go for here, the harder it is to survive, and also maybe the slower. It's not easy to tell what's going to be the fastest. Oh, and the third effect block, by the way, if you crash here, you get fragile. You lose all your speed. It sucks to crash. So, let's see how they handle it. World record by Bren, but he's not in this match. On the leaderboard, out of the players in this match, the player with the best personal best is Pack. 107.83. You can see Mutta here. He had 264 actually into the ending. So a different approach from the one Wosal chose. Let's see, is anyone approaching it here? Looks like they're all in the start. And that checks out as we're about to start. 4 seconds left before we go live. Mutta, Kappa, Pack, Carl Jr. Damn, we're in for a treat here. It's not often that you get to watch these players of this caliber on such a practice track as this, but they all know what's at stake. They all want to go to playoffs. They're taking it seriously. Carl Jr. Pack chasing their first champion medals. Kappa and Mutta here with one more champion medal. They could easily secure their spot in the playoffs right here today, so let's take a look. First to 3 points wins. Kappa with a very inside line. That's not going to pay off as he's lacking speed but also clips the corner. And he will be out of the fight for now. Pack with the best start out of the 4. Mutta trying to carry more speed into this jump, but will land later, and Pack builds up a bit more speed before the downhill. Here we saw an inside line and a very outside line. Looks like all these players favoring going wide on the dirt. Then we have the grass turn. You really don't want to jump at the top of the hill here. Need to let off the acceleration just a little bit to stay on the ground. Pack missing the line. It's Carl Jr. versus Mutta for the first point. Let's take a look at the speedometer. Mutta choosing 262. And it looks like Carl has chosen about the same amount here. It's very close up to the final quarter pipe turn. Who's going to carry the most speed? Inside line to the finish. Carl winning it by 0.02 of a second. And they are pushing it right to the limit with 260. Like, you go a few kilometers an hour faster, you're not surviving the turns. But the point goes to Carl, frustratingly, just always on the right side of those coin flips, it seems. That is the Carl special. Driving just as fast as he needs to in order to win. Here, Pack missing the outside line a little bit. But he hangs on in the race. Beautiful speed on the exit of that turn. Oh, and he goes for a very inside line. Sets himself up for the downhill here. Comes back up into pole position, leading the race right now. Just tied with Carl, though, into the drift part. All these 3 players that you're witnessing in top 3 are tech world champions on the drifting style. But Carl wins that trade overall, and it is him in the lead before the identity part. Pack here. How much speed is he going to carry? 259. That will be a bit less than Carl. That also means his car will slide less, and you can see it here. He's getting closer, trying to fight off Carl Jr., but it will not work out. Carl with a 107.91. An amazing time here in the second round. to put himself instantly into finalists. Two quick round wins for Carl Jr., making it so difficult for the others when they know, if I want to win a round here, I gotta drive personal best. I mean, Pac's personal best is 0.83. Carl Jr. shows up in match with a 91. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna compete? This round, he got off to a bit of a worse start, and they might have a chance. But he's creeping closer and closer to first. Carl Jr. in that signature blue and yellow Solary car. Kappa here holding him off though. Haven't lost much time yet. Pac able to follow with a lot of speed. It's gonna be Pac into first after the loop, but how much speed will he decide to go with? 270. This might crash and burn because this is very fast for Pac, and he knows he has a difficult task at hand. Has to carry 270 into this last one, and there's just almost no way to survive. Kappa will be the one to snipe that one away to 108.05. And that was a risk that Pac went for there, carrying so much speed. It is possible to survive with 270, but you're really playing it right at the limit. And Kappa able to get a point, able to deny Carl from qualifying already. That does make the match a little bit more interesting. Here again, wide turns, but Carl missing the ice slide, 0.6. Not something we see that often. But Carl here proving that he is human and not a robot sent by aliens to play Trackmania at peak level. That is relieving to see, and it gives the other players a chance here. Pac now in the lead. Last time it was Kappa in first at this point. But Kappa missing the gear on the exit of the grass. It will be Pac in the lead. Is he gonna bite over more than he can chew in the end? 257, more conservative approach this time around, and he gives himself an easier task. But is he too slow to fend off Kappa? We hear his engine roaring behind, but it will be Pac. 107.92, a great winning time. And he's showing now, like Carl. I mean, maybe Carl's feeling the heat as well. It looked like an easy 3-0 sweep for Carl Jr., but the others are showing they can match his pace here. That might put some pressure on him. Fourth place here going into this round at the beginning. Mutta in first. Yet to claim a point. Wide setup for Mutta onto the dirt. Could come back with a lot of speed, and yes, he will. To make it such an even race. Look at this. They're all four within just a few hundreds on the tech part. And if you see the split now, you know it's all in. There's no point in holding back, because you gotta beat the four world's best players here in just one round in the ending here. How much speed is Kappa going to commit for? Goes for 264. That's a really high number. Instantly gaining time on the others, but not able to hold on to it. Mutta also driving at 264 here. Does he survive the last turn? Yes, he will. And Mutta gets a 107.83. That is 5th place on the leaderboards right now. Everybody on 1 point, Carl on 2. Incredible time. Just think about it. Brent's world record has come out of weeks and weeks of practice to set one fast lap, and here in the match on the server in Champion, Mutta's able to crack out just 1700s behind that. It's beautifully done. But here falls a bit behind Kappa, who's really kicked it into high gear. Great splits so far. Round the turn, has to commit early for the left now in order to get a good uphill approach. Carl Jr. right behind him, and he gets such a good exit out of that grass part, Carl. 1 versus 1 into the ending. Cuppa with a 249. That is not what you want to get, and Carl really has the initiative with 264 here. Able to hold on to that, and Carl Jr. qualifies safely into champion match 5 with that win to fight for his first champion medal. Cuppa slowing down a little bit too much over the cruise control block. And there is some merit to taking like not as much speed. If you go in with, let's say, 255, you might be able to do very narrow turns where someone with high speed is forced to go wide, so it could benefit you. But in general, 249 just too low. But other than that, he was driving a great run, Cuppa, and he's doing so again. These gaps are bigger than what we've seen in rounds prior. 0.2 ahead of his opponents here. Into the uphill part. Around the drift though, Pack. Gaining a little bit back. Getting closer. But he jumps out, and Cuppa has a golden opportunity now to secure this. Just needs to get medium speed over the blocks. 267. This could be crucial. Is he able to survive the turns with this? I have not seen anyone survive with this high speed. He's trying his very best to get around the corners, and he will be able to do so. Just 700 out of Mudda. But that's enough to claim the point. Finalist status achieved. And the one more round away, or one more round when needed, to go into Champion 5 and compete for this second champion medal. Oh, I think Cuppa went for a little bit more speed than he wanted. Perhaps compensating for his 249 from the round prior. Now though, not blessed with having that fantastic start he's had in the previous 2 rounds. He's gonna have to claw his way back here if he wants to close it out right here, right now. Because now he's in the losing spot, and it is not going to be it. Clips the corner. Pack versus Mudda. We've seen Mudda consistently get great endings on this track. Really figured out how to navigate the car through those bowls. And will put pressure on Pack now by saying, I'm close. I'm even in first. And I'm good at this ending. 264. We've seen that work out a lot for the players so far. Great speed into the first one. Second one commits early and will have a good exit here. Mudda perfectly done in the ending. 107.8. And with that, he's going to put himself at finalist to challenge Cuppa here. This is getting tense now. And Pack, who was on for his first champion medal, he's chasing it this step. He has not won it yet and is near the bottom of the scoreboard in the league. Really wanted this step, but with the crash, the 2 finalists are going to be the ones left to duke it out. It will not be the champion medal for Pack this weekend. Most likely, it's the best you can hope for now, is gold. Clips the corner there. Now it's a duel between 2 players who've done great this season, Cuppa and Mudda. Different approaches. The 0.3 split is not that accurate. As you can see, Mudda creeping in. Closer and closer. Halves the time he was behind. But he really needs a strong end here to clutch this out. This will be the final round. Will it be Cuppa or Mudda to join Carl in the champion match? The last match of the step, Mudda 262, and looks like Cuppa does have less speed. Mudda approaching closer and closer. But Cuppa able to hold on here, and he will take the last round win here. Carl and Cuppa are the advancing players out of champion match 4. And that was the last match of this step, and a very surprising result in gold. Otak has won in gold, and Otak will be playing for his first champion medal. Otak and Mime, the 2 players who qualified out of the Challenger Division last season, now join each other side by side in Champion. Not something that you expected to see, I think, from the rookies, but that is very cool to see. Let's see here if we get the matches up and running. That's exciting. It's always fun when you have new names, new storylines, new things to talk about, really, right? How exciting. We have one match left, guys, and this decides who gets which medals at the end of the day. So, just to recap what they're all playing for, what this all means, let's take a look at the current standings. Currently, as it stands, Bren, Aurel, Mudda, and Mime are the 4 players. Oh, sorry. Bren, Aurel, Mudda, Mime, Masa, and Kappa are the 6 players that have a champion medal. Kappa and Mime find themselves in the final right now with a chance to win their 2nd champion medal, which would instantly put them into 1st, instantly put them into playoffs. However, Carl Jr. also has a chance to win his 1st champion medal, and he has 3 golds. So Carl Jr. here with a win could instantly go up into 1st or at least 2nd place. And then look at this. Otak in 14th place in the league with a silver and a bronze so far before today with a 5-10 win ratio. Could get a champion medal. And that would mean him surpassing Grenadi, who has 3 golds. This format can flip back and forth so much. If you just have one good match day, like Otak today, and it goes all the way, you could really put yourself into playoffs, just like that. So let's see. We're going in. Alright, just waiting on the players to get themselves on the server. We get some time to talk about the map. We've seen it in play earlier today in the Challenger Division. And we can take a look at how it is driven and the leaderboard. Who of these 4 have the best personal bests going into it? So, let's watch the onboard here. This is driven by Spam. You can analyze the run here. It's a very tense map. It is difficult to survive each turn without crashing. Starts out with this grass part down the hill, really steep downhill, drift to the right around this corner, and then you have a jump from the water edge into the dirt, dry off the tires, and carry the gear all the way across the plastic gear. If you drop that gear, gonna lose a lot of time. This is all played in the 4th and 5th gears. And then here, important section. You jump to the left into the bobsleigh, weave the car to the right to carry the speed, and then you have this quarter pipe jump where you have to jump across and land super early. The earlier you land, the better. But that entire sequence, if you look at that again, is really difficult to aim. Starting from here, carry the speed, set up for the bobsleigh, land wide, weave back into the turn, and then you have to aim for this jump here. How do you even aim this? It's an absurd landing to get, but you gain so much speed from it. Then it's a full 270-degree turn around and underneath. And we haven't even seen the identity. The identity here is knife edge. And what that means is transitioning from platform to platform across, switching sides. This requires finesse and precision. You can look at it one more time in slow-mo to get a good feel for it. But you have to, at 300 speed, fully commit to a left turn, and then perfectly transfer the car over to the other side. If you get more airtime there, you really won't have time to stabilize the car for the next part. Same thing here. 400 across, and then jump into the finish. It's difficult. It's very difficult and very impressive, because you're going to see the players here, with all the practice they put in, basically execute it to near perfection. Oh, wait, I'm stupid. I just realized we're doing the thing where champion match happens after gold. And so gold match might have already started. I hope we're not late. Oh, looks like we're here just in time. They're still warming up. Okay, whew. My god. We're watching the gold match first, champion matches after all the other matches have played. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. But it's that feeling when you realize, like, shit, I forgot something. Out of the 4 players in gold today, Arel, Pack, Mutta, and Bren. Bren with the fastest personal best. You can see, yes, world record. But if we take a look at the others, looks like they have hidden personal bests here. Literally all of them. As they are not to be found on the leaderboards. Oh, Pack has a time from 6 days ago, but I don't think that's accurate. So yeah. We will have to see when they start. And interestingly, hidden personal best usually means hidden lines. Whenever these tracks get released, sometimes players find racing lines that are better than what their opponents have. And they keep them secret, and then they reveal them in the match to have a small advantage. So could anyone have found something here? Not the small advantage? Maybe. It's not impossible. We're starting in 7 seconds with the gold match. The way this works now is that the 2 players who win will end up with a gold medal on the day. The 2 players who lose are guaranteed a silver medal. And these, of course, count towards the overall rankings. For Mutta and Bren and Arel, who already have a champion medal, getting a gold would be important for the overall standings. They're securing their spot. And for Pack here, who's down near the bottom of the scoreboard before today, he had a 4-11 win ratio. And I think he was in 14th place in the league. This is a very important gold medal. He needs this one to make it his way to playoffs. So all eyes on them as they begin the first round here, going into the technical part in the start of the track, around the water bend, and now jumping into the dirt. Do not want to get a bouncy landing there. They all successfully stay in the upper gear of the car. If you don't, you're going to lose a lot. Now into the very difficult bobsleigh part here. Pack building up a lot of speed before it. Will he be able to handle it here? Gets to the turn in time, but now you have the big quarter pipe jump across into the next one, and he's so wide. Arel, the player who had it perfect. You can see he gained about half a second there on Pack. Into first place, looking for this very first point. But in order to get it, needs to survive on the knife's edge. The transitions, the first one is good. Sets up for the second one by going low on the transition. And he's doing it cleanly into the finish. And that was a 104.7. Meaning Pack there, before his mistake, was near Bren's world record pace in the first half of the track. So they are going blistering fast here, even in the gold match. All the 16 players in Tmgl are so good. So whichever match you really watch, it is a pleasure. This time Mutta with an early lead. Arel going low here. Ooh. Interesting. They might get more speed from that, but they also have a rough setup for this turn. Arel actually dropping the gear before the plastic is doing that masterfully to not lose any time with it. Mutta with a massive lead before the quarter pipe jump. Flies far, but maintains the speed in the landing. Stays ahead. Bren is the closest, and he's not really close. With 0.4 of a gap to close. In order to get first, trying his best though. The world record holder here, Bren. Last jump. Will Mutta make any mistakes? Oh, he clipped! And that's gonna be Bren stealing it away at the finish line. As Mutta misses the last transition. But he only wins it by 1 200ths to his opponents. That was seriously close. This is just as much a battle against the map as it is against your opponents here. Just surviving rounds here in 104 pace is not easy. Oh, Bren clipping out on the water jump. Losing a chance at winning here. Mutta going seriously low on that transition now, while also getting the drift set up. So this is how he was able to gain a lot of time in the previous round. But Pack, way more speed onto the bobsleigh. And they are driving just as fast this run as the previous. Mutta setting up wide for the jump. Does he carry the landing? Beautifully done. Amazing jump there from Mutta. And now he's on for another chance to win here. But Pack is not letting him get away with it. Yes, he is, as he made a mistake. Aurel trying his best to fight, but that's going to be big airtime. Mutta, this time, surely has to clutch it into the finish. And he will do so. 1:04.62. So, amazing time from Mutta. Just that quarter pipe jump, seeing how effortless it is to jump with 400 speed across 5 blocks of the distance and perfectly land at the start of the next quarter pipe. It's just like, damn, dude. Easy to get jealous when you see people play this game like this, because they make it look so easy. 4th round in. Pack with a weird setup for the drift, going wide. Mutta this time the one with the more speed. Releasing though before the bobsleigh, perhaps so that he doesn't arrive too late for the turn. Wide setup for the jump, and this time once again it is just a perfect alley-oop. Wide on the drift here, but carries the gear, and that will let him have more speed than Pack before the ending. Will he be able to win on the knife edge though? Pack committing with a lot of speed, low air time. Expertly done from Pack, who just rushes into the finish. 1:04.6, and we are level. Everyone has a point. Mutta's got the middle, Pack's got the end. Very interesting how it all balances out when you see what the different players excel at. And on such a diverse track featuring all the track styles, dirt, grass, plastic, tech, bobsleigh, it's just like, you need to master it all, but there's slight differences in what players are good at. This is an incredible start from Mutta to once again put himself far ahead of the others. Really only Pack able to follow. Then we go to the quarter pipe jump, and here Mutta goes too far, Pack goes too short. Maybe giving Brennan Aurel an opening to fight for a win here. It is still 0.3. Too close. Aurel going wide, not really carrying the speed. Needs to see Mutta clip the last one to have a chance, but Mutta will secure it. Another 1:04, another win. Mutta is finalist now. And he's really been looking so good on the final maps in the recent steps. Always putting in extra practice teams on these last maps because they matter so much. This is where you get your medals. This is where you have to outperform any opponents you face in your match. Bit on the slower end though for the start. Pack now extending up in first, and Mutta's actually dropped the gear, so this is a great opportunity for Pack. If he lands the jump, Aurel actually going up into first after the jump by a lot. 1/3 of a second. Bren going wide to keep the gear, and he should be able to overtake Pack here. But there's a big gap. Up to Aurel in first, who could get finalist himself. Pack clips the checkpoint. Bren coming in with a lot of speed. This is going to be close for the finish line. Pack, Bren, sorry, jumping close. 700ths the gap, but Aurel remains ahead. Aurel had to nail that last transition, and he did so. To remain ahead. And earns a very hard-fought point. So the player I feel we've seen the least from thus far is the world record holder Bren. The current leader of the league has been the player struggling the most, and we can see it here. It's not a caster's curse, he really just isn't on his usual form by the looks of it. In the first 3 steps he's been so dominant, but here, not finding the rhythm. As well as the others have. Pack going too low. Pays the price for a risk that would gain him a lot of time. But this now means we will have a finalist get a gold medal. Whether it be Aurel or Mutta, it remains to be seen, but Mutta with the best shot at it right now. Last transition, and he holds his lead. 104.75, and Mutta takes a gold medal and temporarily is leading Trackmania Grand League. At the very moment, before Aurel and Bren and Pack have finalized their step, he is currently leading with 1 champion, 2 gold, 1 silver. Now, if Bren gets a gold here, Bren would be the leader, so we'll have to see. And there's also Mime and Kappa playing for their 2nd champion medal in the champion match later on. So a lot can shake up in the standings. Aurel in the lead on finalist mode here. Going for so much exit speed. This is going to be hard for Pack to challenge, because Aurel is coming in like a rocket into the bobsleigh, which is a surface that only snowballs speed further. And to make matters better here, he lands the jump, and Pack able to jump low and fight for it. Still on 1 point, Pack. But now with an opportunity to make it 2, he's good at the identity. Aurel setting up wide, trying to carry as much speed as he can before the jumps. But Pack is still 0.2 ahead, and it will be Pack to take that one. 104.64. Double finalist here in the gold match. As we mentioned, Pack desperate for this medal. His best medal yet is a silver. That has put him at 14th place in the league so far. Here he could get a gold, a very important gold. But he needs to beat Bren, the world record holder on the map, and Aurel, who is currently finalist. And for Bren here, has not been able to show his true pace yet. And this is desperation hour, because his 2 opponents are finalists. Here into the bobsleigh, finally in the lead. Can he nail the jump now? He needs to get this right, and he lands early, carries the speed. Bren with a great opportunity to make it a triple finalist. Pack and Aurel are here to fight for it though, side by side into the water. Best setups for the end will decide it here. Bren going early, maybe with a bit more speed than Aurel. Better transition to overtake the lead. Last transition decides it. Bren jumps, but it's enough to remain ahead by 200ths. And we will have triple finalists. Bren versus Aurel versus Pack. Winner takes the gold. This has been an incredible match here in the Golden Division. Between these 4, Mutta probably breathing easy. He's done with his step now, seeing how they're playing after the fact. But who will be the one to step up now to clutch it and take the final round of this match? Pack in the lead out of the start. He's had so many good starts just like this one before the bobsleigh, but they've fallen apart at the jump to the quarter pipe. That's where he's lost it. Here, Bren coming in with more speed and a more difficult jump to aim with the speed, but he gets it. He does get across to the other side. So does Pack, and Aurel is right behind to follow. They're all through to the water part. All 3 side by side before the end. Different setups here. Aurel and Bren going wide. Aurel with less speed and a difficult trajectory. Might jump out here a little bit. Bren and Pack with more speed. Pack with the best trajectory, and Pack will take it in the final hour with an amazing 1:04.56 as the other two players didn't get to the end and had to respawn. My god, what a round. Pack and Mutta are the two gold medal winners. Just to clear it up, Bren did not finish with a plus 000. He was equal at the checkpoint and then didn't finish, so the split did not update. But that is gold. And now we have the champion match coming up where there are even higher stakes between Carl Jr., Mime, Kappa, and Otak. First of all, the bronze match still ongoing. Scrappy Spam Gwen Grenadi. Let's quickly take a look. Let us see. Oh, it's already over. Spam and Scrappy win bronze ahead of Gwen and Grenadi. Which means we can get ourselves on the champion match server. Carl Jr., Kappa, Mime, and Otak. This is such an interesting matchup thematically. You have Carl Jr., the 4-time world champion, the 3-time Trackmania Grand League champion. He's won every season but the last one and the first one. The first season of Tmgl, Kappa won. And the previous season, Pack won. But the 3 other seasons, Carl Jr. was the winner. And then you have Kappa, who won the first season of TMGL. He was the 2018 World Champion, got 3rd in the World Championship in the last summer. These are 2 very established players. Some of the best in the game, some of the most well-known names in the game. And then you have Mime and Otak, who last season of TMGL Challengers were the top 2 players, and they promoted themselves into the top division. And this is their first season here in Trackmania Grand League. And after promoting themselves, they've now beaten all of the other household names in the league to put themselves into champion match. Mime was here last week in the champion match and won a champion medal then. Huge performance. Otak now here for the first time, and we are going live in 10 seconds to watch kind of the battle between the new and the old. The youngsters, I mean, Mime and Otak here. I think Mime is 17, 18 years old. Otak is 16, 17. They're both incredibly young. Carl Jr. and Kappa in their mid-20s. This is a battle for the medals, but also just for legacy. So let's get it going. On the leaderboards right now, none of these players have public times that I can see. So it's impossible to tell who's the fastest. We'll have to gauge the pace after the first couple of rounds. Here we go into the champion match of step 4. First to 3 points wins. The top 2 players will win, and Mime already with an early mistake, clipping the inside of the grass corner there to lose 0.3 of a second. Otak in the lead out of the dirt. And here we saw players go for this very low approach onto that transition. Will pay off. Here, high speed is key onto the plastic. Kappa setting himself up for that, temporarily losing time, but now coming back onto the bobsleigh. Great line there to build up speed. And now the quarter pipe jump. Who's going to get the best here? Carl jumping far, Kappa landing early, and Carl able to keep the speed from that. Setting up wide with the upper gear, but Kappa right next to him, side by side in the first round. Otak losing a little bit of ground into the checkpoint. Kappa has a very difficult setup to work with, but it works out regardless. Low line here. Will he make it in time for the last transition? Carl coming back to snipe it by 0.02 of a second. And it is Carl to take the first point here. Kappa jumping a little bit too much from the last transition. Also needs to be said overall here, Carl Jr. in the first 3 weeks has gotten 3 gold medals. He has yet to win his first champion medal of the league, but if he wins one today, that could instantly put him up into first in the league. Kappa and Mime both have one. If they win again today, they will also be first. And Otak will make such a massive jump on the scoreboard from last into potentially one of the first players. So a lot can change here. Mime too wide, has to release. Kappa now with his high-speed setup, misses the gear timing. That means it is Otak versus Carl up front. Otak with a lot of speed. Low jump though, barely makes it across. Perfectly executed there by the young French player. Up against Carl Jr., the most achieved Trackmania player throughout history here. Into the ending. Low transition for Otak. Carl jumping too far. Bouncing out. And Otak will take a point here with an even faster round time. 104.83 now. Put some pressure on the others. It's only a first to 3 points. These matches can be over before you know it. Already Carl and Otak with a point, and now Mime and Kappa really gotta get it into high gear. Kappa hitting the wall on the dirt. Down to last place, Mime up into first now. He is one of the best players on any slidey surface. Grass, plastic, dirt. He's great at it, able to build so much speed with the speed slides. Here up in first with the fastest checkpoint split halfway through the track that we have seen yet. Jumps very far there though, and here comes Carl Jr. in with great speed. Goes for a wider line. Carl will come back with even more speed once again. And before the ending, they're gonna be just about equal here. Mime has to do a great job with the transitions now to fend off Carl Jr. The first one is there. The second one will be there as well. Mime gets a point of his own. And they're just going faster and faster. 104.7 now from Mime. Everybody showing up here. Pressure's on Kappa. Still yet to win a round, and when you see the pace you need to drive here, you know it's for real. It's almost as you might as well be grinding personal best attempts here, because they're going very close to their own records. Offline. Onto the grass here. Carl with a difficult setup for the drift. Has to adjust here several times to get onto the plastic. You can see Kappa with less adjustments gets more speed to the bobsleigh. It's his round now to lead into the jump, but does he go too high here? Carl with a perfect low jump once again. Wide line once again. Kappa on the inside drift there. Curious to see what pays off. Kappa will have a slight lead before the end, but Carl is as consistent as ever. Will Kappa be able to defend this one? He has to release, and this time Carl looks poised to take his second point with an incredible run. 104.47. That's the fastest time we've seen all day, and only 17 hundredths from Brent's world record. That's absurd. Carl is finalist now, 1 point away from getting his first champion medal and going up into first in the overall standings. But here he does the classic curse. A great run instantly followed by a crash. And this gives the others some breathing room. They won't need to drive world record pace, but they will have to go fast. Every one of these players have shown they're capable of high pace. Now a 1 versus 1. Anything can happen. Kappa versus Otak. Carl really not that far behind either if they make a mistake in the end. Kappa on 0. This is a round he needs to win. And he has a small lead to work with. Last time he falls through at the identity, Otak pushing everything he can on the knife's edge. Beautiful first transition, can't get any better. The second one as well. Otak will join Carl as finalist here in step 4. Incredible identity section there from Otak. And what a turn of events it would be if Otak is the first one to get a champion medal today. Not something anyone would have predicted going into the step. But he finds himself here just 1 win away from securing the best medal you can get. here in first after the grass part. Mime the closest, but goes wide. That's not going to be a lot of speed. Carl Jr., the other finalist, is the one trying to chase him down, but Otak's driving the fastest checkpoints we've seen all race. Carl Jr. on the jump. That is as perfect as you can get it, and Carl Jr. will easily extend into first here, but he misses the drift a little bit, and Otak could come back here because he hit a perfect drift behind him. Otak's going up into first after all, and with a chance at closing it out, but this is going to be a wide setup, has to release. Carl Jr. will once again go back up into first, and the others are nowhere near any spot to challenge it. It was close for Otak, but Carl takes the first champion medal, and now he is leading Trackmania Grand League at this very moment. Well played from Carl. Every single round here in this match, he's been driving fast. And it was just a matter of time before the other players would crack under the pressure. Kappa versus Mime versus Otak. Otak gets one round here, where the others cannot deny him a potential win. They cannot win themselves until next round, but there's a double mistake here. Kappa clipped the corner and Mime missed the gear. Look at this lead for Otak. Can he hit the jump here? Otak crashes, but so does Mime, and Kappa has DNF'd, which means Otak is still in the lead by half a second. And this is why you should never give up, because Otak is still in first here after a very dramatic double crash. Is he gonna be able to handle the nerves though? The speed is different. The rhythm is different for all of this. Coming in with less speed. The first jump is there. The second one, and you can be a champion medal winner, and he will take it with a 107 here. But a win regardless for Otak. Incredible stuff that him and Carl Jr. are the champion medal winners today. Very well played. Crazy battle between all the players, but at the end of the day, it will be Carl Jr. now, leading Tmgl ahead of, I believe it would be Murra? I think Murra got, yeah, I think it might be Murra. Carl Jr. ahead of Murra in second would be the standings, but we'll have to see when they update. That is it for Tmgl today. Great matches, holy.